So we're in the car. Like I said, this is a 2001 Mercedes C-Class. It's a C240. Everything goes, and it will turn on, but it will shut off, or it will run really rough. But eventually it will shut off, so let's go. Alright, did not want to turn on. So let's go outside. Let's see the pressure. Because now the keys turn into the position. And as you can see, it's only at 10, but it looks like I got a little leak here, so you got to make sure this is tighter. Yeah, I got a little gas leak, so let me come back, let me get some more threading on there or tighten it up a little bit. This seems to be doing good. It's this right here, it's got a little leak. I don't know if you could see that. It's got a little leak, so let me tighten that up a little bit. Alright, so when you're doing this, make sure you're putting enough so that doesn't happen again and it starts leaking. So just make sure you put enough on there, and we'll get this thing started back up. Let's see what happens. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I bought this at Harbor Freight, and it was, I think, $15.99 or $19.99. But it does work for the Mercedes model, just not the GM models, because they have something with the GM throttle doesn't let them use this. But this works pretty good. It's a model 62623 Adam number, and it's a fuel injection pump tester. So let's get this on because it was leaking on me, and I'll plug it back up, turn on the car, and let's see where we're at. But I didn't want to order the fuel pump until I did this test. And for $15.99 at Harbor Freight or whatever it is, even if it's 20 bucks, it's well worth it before spending $130 on a fuel pump when you don't even need it. Alright, so she didn't start. Let's go back out. Let's see where we're at. And it looks like the fuel pump, I'm supposed to be at least 4550 psi with it on automatically. So now, before I get the fuel pump, I'm gonna change out the fuel filter, because that could be the fuel filter blocking, because there is some pressure, which means to tell me that, you see that that's holding at 15, approximately 15, maybe even 16. Let's get it straight. But see how it's holding there? That means there is pressure, so that means that fuel pump is working because it's holding pressure. But the problem is that the fuel filter is not letting it get through. So it looks like 70% chance that it could be the fuel filter, which I already ordered for less than $20 on Amazon. And we're gonna change that out and go from there, see if this puppy starts. So there you have it. It's holding. That means that the fuel pump is trying and it is working, because there's still pressure, so which indicates that it could be fuel filter cloggage, and we're gonna get to that and swap it out, and then I'll let you know if it starts up, which I think I'm almost 100% sure when I get that fuel filter tomorrow, it's gonna start right up, this puppy. So this investment was very good, especially if you have ports in your cars, especially on a BMW like this. This is a money pit, but it It doesn't have to be if you kind of go through changing out some of the parts before the big parts start realizing you're not taking care of me. So with that being said, crankshaft is done, MAF sensor's cleaned. I unplugged it, just doing a recap. I unplugged it, tried to turn it on, it still didn't turn on, which means that it has to be somewhere in the fuel line. So regulator is on, everything seems to be functioning well with that. So fuel filter looks clogged because they're still holding pressure, and we've been here talking about a few minutes and it's still approximately 15, so that means that the fuel pump is still putting pressure out. If it was the fuel pump, there would be no pressure, no fuel coming to it. And like I said, it did start before. It started for a little while and then it ran, it idled, it cut off. So fuel filter it is. We're going to change that out. Now if the fuel filter doesn't fix the problem, my last resort is going to be the throttle body itself not functioning properly, and that's a whole different ball game. So comment if you have any questions, if you had any of these problems. I'm trying to do it in a high definition form where you're looking at the engine, you're looking to see what you got versus what I got. 2001 C-Class, it's a C240. They're known to do all these problems, and I'm just putting all of the YouTube videos that I've encountered, trying to get them all in one. So trying to figure out this problem of it shutting off and cranking but not starting. I know I spoke a lot, but I try to give you a lot of information and detail on what I'm giving you so that you can learn and try to do it yourself, because that's what YouTube's about. It's about helping each other out and getting it done. So tomorrow I'll put in the fuel filter and then we'll go from there.